Shalom, my precious brothers and sisters in faith. Actually, I'm in hotel room. When I booked flight ticket from South Korea to UK, it was one stop by Germany, Frankfurt. And what happened when I arrived in Germany? Suddenly, the flight from Germany to UK was cancelled, and to be honest, I hate traveling and I don't like traveling. I like reading and conversation, and so I'm not kind of traveler. I'm not kind of pursuing holiday, and I was actually afraid because I am alone in foreign country, and it was at night, and then I was keep praying. I was praying, and I know Lord encouraged me, and I spot two girls who had the same flight. Their flight also cancelled with me, and one of the girls, she cannot speak English, so she was really threatened because she doesn't understand what happened. So I was searching for someone who can speak Spanish, but she can't speak English. So I found a girl, Spanish, who can speak Spanish. So we, both of us, helped her next flight next morning, and her taxi, and this they arranged for taxi and hotel and taxi again to airport and next flight ticket. So I was helping her. So when I was helping her, the fear suddenly disappeared because I have to look after this vulnerable woman who feel threatened and with full of fear in her eyes. So I said, do not worry, follow me, and we go to same hotel next to me, and I will look after you. And so that I realized when we look after our children, like if you are mom is strong. I realize when you look after your sheep, the shepherd should be strong, because I'm not just alone. I have to look after all those sheep, all those vulnerable people God sent me. So that's why I am here. And this morning she left very early to airport. My flight is this afternoon. And during my holiday, my dad's funeral, I read same writer, and I read her two books. One is Revelation of Hell, and another book I read her Old Testament, her understanding when she learned from the Lord in heaven. So I read her understanding of the Judge and Joshua, and then on the plane way to here, I finished this book, understanding of Book of Revelation, and many of her understanding is very similar to me, and some of them, couple of things I've learned from her because she learned from the Lord when she was in heaven. That's why I want to share with you. But my battery is so little I don't have a charger. I didn't have any expectation. I will stay here so that I will record quite short one. So she saw in heaven about the prostitute on the beast. When you see Book of Revelation chapter 17, this prostitute, this woman, was riding the beast. And then verse 18, the woman you saw is the great city that rule over the kings of the earth. And then when you see next chapter 18, you see this Babylon big city was destroyed, punished by God. So I thought this Babylon, I thought in my understanding, it is Syria or Iran who are enemies for Israel, because I understood this way, because we see God's 7 bowls of wrath. God prepared, God judged us with there's a soul broke out on the people who had the mark of beast, and then the sea turned into blood, and even the spring of water and all those rivers turned into blood, and people were suffering with like a cancer, trauma, cancer like soreness. They were seared by the intense the heat from sun. And then after God, one of the his 7 bowls of God's wrath was, Saint John saw all those kings from east, over the Euphrates River. They were preparing the war against Israel, so that we call it in Hebrew Armageddon. So they were preparing Armageddon war. So that's why I thought those enemies, including Turkey, Russia, Iran, I thought they are the great city, the Babylon. But in her understanding, when she asked the Lord in heaven, Lord used amazing Bible verse. So when he was in the desert for 40 days of fasting, and devil, the Satan, tested him. 3 questions. One of the questions was, when you vow to me, I will give you this world, and you will receive the authority and this kingdom of the world and their splendor. And Lord said, this is the thing, this is the great city, rule over the kings of the earth. This great city, this woman, prostitute, is the kingdom of this world. And then who rule over this world is Satan. And the time when world forced the people with 666, the microchip, what are they? They are the world. It could be world government. It could be the authority of this world. They will rule over this world during Great Tribulation, 3.5 years. So that she received this revelation from the Lord. This is not just any one nation. Some people said it could be America. I thought it could be the enemies of Israel. But his understanding is the world, the kingdom of this world, the enemy of our God. So that the enemy, the war of Armageddon. So Armageddon war is between God and Satan. The Satan is ruling this world. So that the Babylon will fall after 7 bowls of God's wrath. That's God's judgment. God will judge this world system, this world government. So that's amazing revelation. I finally understood that part. And then this chapter 13, chapter 11, there are two witnesses proclaiming God's gospel. The last preacher, like one of the top two prophet in this generation. So why two, not one, two witnesses? They are not Moses, they are not Elijah from heaven. It could be that the spirit of Elijah came upon to John the Baptist. It could be someone like who received Moses' heart and spirit of Elijah. But actually it should be two witnesses on us in this generation. One from Jewish background, Jewish Christian. One from the Christian, the preacher, prophets from the Gentile church. So these two will rise up soon. And then Lord emphasized that the time of the Great Tribulation will start when you see Antichrist make 7 years of peace deal with Israel, and also when you see the third temple. So we are waiting to see who is the Antichrist. So Antichrist will rise up to make peace deal with Israel, and two witnesses will come up as well, and third temple. So we heard Israel, they have about 8 or 9 red heifer. So the red heifer is ready to purify the temple, also purify the high priest and all those priesthood in Israel. So time is so close, but we still have to go through many things before the rapture. So another understanding from her, I think this understanding, she didn't hear from the Lord, but it's her understanding, because I never thought about, when I heard some people say there will be 2-3 raptures, I never thought about, but her understanding is, it's not from the Lord, but she says it's her understanding. So there will be rapture for bride of Christ. They are the saint in this generation. So when you see one of the 7 churches in Book of Revelation chapter 3, to the church in Philadelphia, and I used this Bible verse during the kind of COVID break, and verse 10, since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. So she said she felt the rapture will come before the forcing of 666 microchips. And then the Israel who are righteous, who are ready, and Lord will secure them. 144,000 Israel people, they will be hidden somewhere. It could be underground. It's God's power, how he can, I believe he can do it, because he shows so many miracles during when Israel going through all those war against Canaanites. So we see how he show his miracle through Moses, through Joshua. So it will happen in this generation as well. God will protect them from 666, protect them from great tribulation. And then they will have second, so there will be another rapture for Israel. And she said her understanding is Book of Revelation chapter 14, those people, 144,000 people, he said, the sounds I heard was like a harpist playing their harp. They sang a new song before the throne and before the four living creatures and the elders. No one could learn the song except the 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth. These are those who didn't defile themselves with woman. Woman means the world, for they remained virgin. So she said, these are first fruit to God for Israel. And also she said, this is interesting, she said there will be third rapture. Third rapture, I never thought about. Third rapture is who didn't receive during the Great Tribulation, when they force inhabitants, all of inhabitants with 666, but who rejected and who fled and who hid from the world government, and they will have rapture. So she said, she found the Bible verse, same chapter 14, the harvesting the earth. The Lord will harvest them, those people who didn't receive mark of beast. So in those chapter 15, the rapture of the Gentile during Great Tribulation, it said, verse 2, I saw what looks like a sea of glass, growing with fire, and standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast, which means during this Great Tribulation, after setting up the system of 666, the victorious over the beast and its image and over the number of its name, 666. They held the harp given them by God and sang the song of God's servant Moses and of the Lamb, so that the same image we can see, it is the same image we can see 3 times in Book of Revelation. The first rapture, the Saint John saw those people who are wearing white clothing. They were holding the palm tree and singing in front of the throne. He saw chapter 4, that's the first rapture. And then chapter 14 for the Israel, 144,000 people for their rapture, and chapter 15 for a third rapture, who overcome, who are victorious over the beast and its name. So it's amazing, amazing revelation I learned from her, from this book. And during a Sunday service, last Sunday, I arranged family service at my dad memorial stone with my brother's family, my sister's family. We were all together 10. And my brother-in-law, he is not Christian, so he didn't join, but 9 of us, we had a Sunday service. And during the service, suddenly, when I spoke that Bible verse, Lord put me inside strong fire. And I said, take your cross and follow the Lord until the end. Only who are victorious, Lord spoke to 7 churches, only who are victorious until the end, until his coming, they will enter his kingdom. And who are those people who can enter his kingdom? They are victorious. And Lord spoke to my heart take your cross. Cross means persecution. It's not about just only trouble in your life, financial trouble, or brokenness in your family or relationship, or any sickness. They are also our cross. We have to take our cross. Even though the world causes us many trouble, we have to follow Him. That's true. But Lord spoke to me. The meaning of the cross is persecution. So that when you only live with His gospel, when we proclaim gospel, there's always persecution. So imagine when you play football game without enemy, that's not a game. If you made a goal without enemy, without in a game, A and B, A team, B team, they are fighting. That's the game. Otherwise, even if we make a goal, that's not real goal. Only in a game, only in a battle, in a game against our enemy. So that when you have the gospel is goal. When you play game, when you have a goal, there's always attack. That attack is persecution. So that when we live with the gospel, there's always persecution. If you don't have that persecution, small and big, you are not carrying your cross. So the Lord said, keep spreading the message of 666. Keep proclaim the gospel of His kingdom and His return, so that we can prepare people, we can purify ourselves and others, our families, so that there will be always persecution. But that's the way we could be victorious. Without enemy, without spiritual battle, how we can be victorious? So get out from your comfortable zone. And I love having family service with my family. They are not anymore God's enemy. So when we gather together, we enjoy the time together, sharing the gospel and sharing the prayer. We wash each other's feet. But we can't just only us to be together. We have to scatter. When Israel received persecution in Jerusalem, and they scattered, so that the gospel went to Syria and Greece and Rome. Without persecution, without God, that's why God made us to be together for prayer and scatter for spreading gospel, and gather together and encourage each other and go out with your gospel, His gospel. So that's His message. You need to go through the persecution, that's the cross, so that you can enter His kingdom. Only who are victorious, Lord said, only who are victorious, they can enter His kingdom, the door of heaven. Also the rapture, who are victorious, who could enter and who can eat fruit of living, fruit of tree of living tree of, suddenly the word I forgot in English, tree of life, the fruit of tree of life, and who can eat manna, and who could receive the white stone, and who won't have the heart from fire, and who will receive morning star. He promised He will give us that reward in His kingdom, in heaven, in paradise, so that we see this all those sign for Antichrist, who will make 7 years of peace deal with Israel, and see the sign of the third temple and 2 witnesses. When you see this, so we have to go through, we still have to go through these 7 trumpets. There will be World War III. There will be the war against Israel. So that let's keep going. And I will speak again. God bless you. Bye.